ladies and gentlemen. So today we're going to start some new things. Although this one is going to be hopefully a little bit of review. So we're talking today about exponential notation. And for example, we have here, first of all, you would read this as 5 to the 6th power, which means 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Here we have 9 over 7, 9 sevenths. This is read to the 4th power, which means 9 sevenths times 9 sevenths times 9 sevenths times 9 sevenths. You've seen this kind of notation before. It is called exponential notation. And the idea is that the exponent tells you how many times the how many times the base is being multiplied. So in this, n is called the exponent of x in x to the n, and x is the base. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what's supposed to go up there. Negative and fractional bases must be written in parentheses. I said that wrong, sorry. There. Parentheses. All right, so let's talk about this. Fill in the missing number. So if I want to take 4 and I'm going to multiply it by itself 7 times. So I want to know how am I going to do that. So that in notation form would be 4, that's your base, the number being multiplied, and then 7 is your exponent, how many times you're doing that. So here they're telling me I'm multiplying 3.6. This exponent tells me how many times I'm doing that. So I'm multiplying that together 47 times. For number 3, here I'm multiplying negative 11.63 34 times. And just like I said up here, negative bases have to be written in exponent or in parentheses. So it would be negative 11.63. And I'm going to put that in parentheses. And then this 34 becomes my exponent. All right, number 4. We have negative 5 to the 10th power. So you'll see there how it's in parentheses. Notice that. And I'll kind of go over those. Which means I'm multiplying negative 5 times itself 10 times. Number 5, 7 halves, and I'm doing it 21 times. So 7 halves, it's a fraction, so it's going to go in parentheses 21 times. Negative 1/14, this time it's negative and it's a fraction. So I really have to make sure I put that one in parentheses. My exponent is the 10, right? 21, there you go. I can do the same thing with variables. So if I have x times itself 185 times, that's your exponent. So x is your base, 185 is your exponent. In general then, this exponent, in this case, would be n times. Which of these products will be positive or negative? How do you know? Well, let's go through and talk about those. So here, I'm multiplying negative 1 times itself 12 times. Whenever you're multiplying an even number, right, this is an even number, it's going to give you a positive answer. And if we think about our rules, right, when we had one of each, an odd number of negatives, then it was a negative. When they were the same to an even number of negatives, then it was positive. This exponent is even. For over here, this time I'm going to look. I have an odd exponent. I'm multiplying an odd number of negatives, so this would have to be negative. Exponent is odd. If all I have are positive, if my base is positive, we know from the first part of the chapter that anytime I multiply 2 positives, my answer is positive. All right, let's go. Fill in the blanks about whether the number is positive or negative. If n is a positive even number, then negative 55 to the n is positive. Right? Even number of positives is positives. If it's an odd number, then this would have to be odd. Josie says that negative 15 you do 6 times looks like that. Is she correct? No. Why is she not correct? Negative 15 needs to be in parentheses. Rewrite each number in exponential notation using 2 as a base. So I want to know, so here, how many 2's would I need to multiply by itself to get to 2? Well, that would be 2 to the first. Here, for number 4, how many 2's am I multiplying to get to 4? Well, 4 is 2 times 2, which is 2 squared. 8, I would have to multiply 2 times 2 times 2, so that's 2 to the third. 32, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? I just keep building off of that, times another 2, right? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, so that's 2 to the fifth. 64, if I take my 32, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, times another one, that gets me to 64, so that's 2 to the sixth. And if I take those 6, 64 times 2 is 128, so that's 2 to the 7th. So, any questions about writing things in exponential notation? Please bring them to class.